What's up, everybody? Welcome to Washed Up. This is another episode. I'm your host, Eric Mika, joined by Alex Caressa, TJ Hawes as my co-hosts, and we've got a good one today for our second episode, joined by the one, the only, Big Russia. Is that still your Twitter handle? No, you changed it. Well, that was the OG Twitter handle. Kyle Collinsworth. Doesn't need much of an introduction for BYU fans, for basketball fans in general, Mr. Triple Double. It's good to have you here. All right, we want to give a quick shout out to our lovely sponsor, Roan. They're the best. They've got some really nice gear. We're big fans and grateful that they do this for us. So this is for you, Kyle. We got a great shirt. You can do all those pull-ups and push-ups that you do.
Let's go.
That Alex doesn't do. And those.
I can do more.
And then some awesome shorts. Right here. It's great material, super comfy, light. You can get a sweat on. You can get some lounge on. You can do whatever you want.
Thanks, Ron. Appreciate you.
All right, next question. Your all-time BYU starting five.
Oof.
In basketball, obviously.
Well, yeah, but
This is tough.
What's yours, Teej? Like Kyle think.
Tough one.
TJ will have a good one.
TJ's good. You're good at
A
this.
fair one. What? You will. Your dad played there, your brother played there, you played there. You have a lot of perspective.
A lot of BYU history.
Mm-hmm.
you're probably the worst of the three.
Here's a
Oh
question,
my God.
TJ. Are you thinking? Here's what people know: starting five. Some people go like just the best players, and some people go like
By position.
trying
Who's
to
gonna
make a
win?
team, like
Yeah.
meshing the right guys.
What do you
'Cause
guys
if
want to
just
do?
go like,
What do you prefer? What's more interesting?
well, to me, it's like for the point, do you go Danny Ainge or Jimmer? Do you do both?
No, I mean, you
Because,
could do
like,
both.
Would you do both? I'm picking Danny Ainge as my number one. That's fine.
I want you to build a team. That's more interesting to me.
That's going to go win today. In
Today,
today's.
sports
Yeah.
can go.
See, but like, at what point, like, does Danny Ainge from when did he play? 80s, 90s? At what point does that translate to today's game? I feel like both of you guys are shitting on Danny Ainge.
No chance.
That's a hot take.
That's just my thought. Just watching old basketball.
Yeah, but I had a conversation with somebody about this the other day.
He's nice.
From that text that TJ and I were
guess-
talking about our five that we don't think anyone would beat, and I was like, it's just weird. It's crazy to me that because TJ and I were talking about what's the team all-time basketball that would never be beat, and we said who? Shaq.
Said Steph at the point.
Okay, got to start with Steph.
Steph at the point.
Steph,
Mike,
Mike,
Bron, KD, Shaq.
like that team to us is like could never be beaten. And I was like, man, it's crazy that four of those guys are modern guys. Who are we talking to this about?
It was just
And they were like-
I was just,
No, but then we talked about it with somebody, and they were like, well, you just can't compare eras because
that's what I'm saying.
the resources weren't there, like the game was different. But there are certain, this is what they said, there are certain guys, though, that would absolutely, like Wilt, he scored 100 in a game.
Yes.
He absolutely would be able to play now because he's
Okay,
7'1"
so
with a 40-inch vertical.
I guess that's what we were considering. Like, is Danny Ainge playing with the resources and everything, or are you just like plopping him from?
Like Danny played in the NBA for a long time.
Danny's a killer.
He was a
is.
starter, won a championship, like was super scrappy. Like I feel like he
The only
plays in
difference
college now.
from them and us is creativity. It's basically your phone. Like you get to see things. You get to be creative. Like I see a picture of Wilt Chamberlain. His chin is above the rim. They said he ran like under a 4.540. Like that's 7'1".
Yeah, so if he had Instagram to get all the ideas
Yeah, that's
of
what I'm saying.
dunks he wanted
like,
to
what
do.
dunk could he not do?
I
So
like that.
that's the only
a good
difference.
take.
Some guys are like Larry Bird. If he like see the step back and all these fancy moves, like you tell me he wouldn't just dominate.
You
Jason
really
Tatum.
think so?
Yeah, why?
I watched Larry Bird and I'm just like, he doesn't move like that
But
smoothly.
neither does he moves the same way Luka does.
Yeah, that's fair.
Meaning like
They're not, like,
smoothness is
super
all.
quick
It
or
just
whatnot,
depends. It's a different game. He's not going to be a lightning bolt, but now give him the footwork and the step backs that, Kobe and MJ, they brought, and then it's carried on with Durant. Like, give him the ability to see that. Do you think he'd be able to pick it up with his IQ and his skill? That's what just like, could Wilt Chamberlain go and do like a crazy dunk that,
like a through the legs?
Yeah, that he didn't know like you could do with his ability? I think the answer is yes. So I think the only difference is creativity.
Wilt on IG would have been crazy.
Yeah, that's
he would
what
have
I'm
been
saying.
DMing all the ladies.
Oh my gosh,
That is true.
Are you convinced then? Can Danny be in the 5?
Yeah, in that situation, if you're like,
Yeah, give him some catch-up.
Then yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right, continue. Danny, starting 5.
Are we excluding ourselves? Just let's do that. Or do you want to?
Well, obviously.
I'm like,
us
5
three.
with me.
Obviously, it'd be us 3 plus Danny and someone else.
Probably me.
So yeah.
I'm probably in there.
I need shooters. If I'm going
Yeah, we're excluding ourselves. Yeah.
I need a good wing defender that has some size. Travis Hansen comes to mind. He wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Top 5 just because he's athletic.
Top 5, bottom 5.
Yeah, you might throw Jackson in there
Jackson.
as a shooter defender.
Shooter, just 2, 3 and D
3
guys.
guy.
Yeah, you need some.
Danny with Travis and Jackson. That's
Well, I'm not
killer.
saying I'm not.
Oh,
saying,
you're saying one or the other.
Yeah. I mean, Jackson was an elite defender.
Was he an elite shooter?
He's laughing over it.
You're laughing at that?
No, I actually wasn't laughing.
He was like,
I wasn't laughing.
He was kinda like half smiling.
I'm not laughing like that. I'm just thinking about stuff. Okay, can I think?
Yeah, you can.
You guys don't need to try and get inside my head.
I'm not trying to.
All right, we're going Travis, Danny, Travis. 3 more. Give me a big.
You probably gotta go Brandon.
Davies,
Yeah. What other big?
Brandon, Eric. You can't do you, right?
Yeah. And
You're like,
Brandon was
twist
way
again.
better. Brandon was way better than Eric.
All right, fine. No, Brandon was a
Sean
killer.
Bradley,
Yeah, you probably put.
Rafael
put-
Rafael
Rujo.
Rougeau
Rujo.
was good too.
I'd go with Arujo.
That
You're
dude
just saying
was-
all these names.
Huh?
That dude was
Like Sean Bradley. You're like, yeah, Sean Bradley. Oh yeah.
Rafael Rujo. Rafael.
What? I like them all. They can all be considered. Why am I being attacked?
I'm not attacking you.
I'm going to
saying-
shift it
you
on
can
you
get-
in the next couple minutes.
You know what? I'm going to throw someone that I think the most underrated basketball player in BYU history is Lee Kamar.
I thought
Ooh,
about
that's a
him,
good
too.
one.
Just because he's like, he can, like, if he needed to play more of a defensive role, he could.
Yeah.
Like, if he needed to be a scorer, he could.
Yeah.
He basically could gel into any role.
Yeah.
Playing, I even think he could play a 4 if he needs to.
And he's a winner.
And he's a winner.
Yeah, he's so
The dude's good.
I just remember, like,
He's really good.
he was the epitome of why it was scary to go play pickup as a high school kid. Because, like, I'd go play, and, like, the current players were there, obviously, but then you get some alum that are still playing pro, and he was playing at a high level. And
Dude.
it was like you took a bad shot, you were scared Lee was going to say something, or, like,
And he will.
he will.
He's
Or,
not
like,
afraid.
he'd hit a shot in your face, he was saying something. So, like, I was like, gosh, damn.
That
Like,
was your
he was
moment.
on my team, and I
That
was
was
like,
your
yeah.
moment to college.
Yeah.
The
But,
thing about Lee though is he's just like you can play such good defense on him,
Yep.
and he's just long. And
Got that high shot,
yeah.
high release.
yeah, we went to practices last week. We were watching Charles play. Charles is obviously still in great shape and puts the guys through hell like in these workouts. And we were just talking about, like, do you remember? We both like said at the same time. Do you remember when Lee he would just cook us every day, like,
He was tough.
and we
It's
and,
the most
and he was
frustrating
still
thing.
talking. He'd
You
still
gotta
be
get, you gotta
talking.
get 3 stops, get off the court, whatever it was, and then they just get the ball Lee in the mid post, and
It's over.
And we're not gonna air this because I don't need Lee texting me after this. 'Cause I'll never say.
No,
this
Lee
stuff
can
to him.
suck, and I hate Lee, but he can get a basket every once in a while.
Just every once.
What
in a while.
years
He
was
actually
that?
sucks.
That was
7 to
16. Oh.
6.
What years was he there?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
6, 7, 8.
Yeah, something like
9.
that.
Oh, he's super
He's
old.
Right.
right before my brother.
We were nice then?
Yeah, we were good. Actually, that was one of my favorite BYU teams. They had Keenan Young,
Oh, he was so good.
Trent
Yeah.
Playstead.
Was Mike Hall on that team? Or was he a little earlier?
He's
I think he was a little earlier. Trent, you could argue at big as well.
Yeah, he was good.
Crazy athlete.
If Trent had that dog more like, I don't think he loved basketball.
Yeah.
I think he's actually told me that. So
Which is like 90% of the NBA right now.
yeah, especially big guys. What is it with big guys? Like sometimes big guys are so skilled and so like big, but they don't like like basketball?
It's because I'll tell you, as a big guy.
Okay.
I don't know if I love basketball or if I ever did. Like I like being on a team. The locker room's fun, and it's like cool opportunities. Like obviously, I love it, but do I love it like TJ? No, I don't think so. Like TJ's a like born and raised hooper. You know what I mean? Maybe you too. I don't know. You're dapping each other up, so kind of lame. But
Come on now.
but like. I do feel like maybe in if Trent has said that to you, maybe he feels this way. But I feel like when you're a big guy, you're just expected to play basketball,
Yeah,
right?
I think so,
And
yeah.
you're
Makes sense.
not dumb enough to not, right? You're like, okay,
And your
I can go
job
to
kind of
school.
sucks too.
I can go to school for
It's
free.
a-
You gotta
You're,
bang
you're
it.
rim
It's a-
run to rim run.
It's
Dude,
a,
guys-
That's the first time
it's
you've
an
ever
O
admitted
lineman,
that.
bro. It's
Yeah.
It's an O lineman thing.
Do O linemen love football? Probably not.
Some of them do, but like, yeah, for the most part, you don't get any of the glory. You have to
No.
do the dirty work. You got to go bang a little bit. You don't get to be doing the highlight reels.
Yeah.
You're not shooting the shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Uglier
want-
than the skill guys.
Not shooting the shots.
And just put things into football terms, and Alex picks up. on
Not
what we're
shooting the
talking about.
shots.
You're not
No, I'm
as
shooting
good,
shots.
not as skilled. There's a lot of things.
You're that
You're
weird
dumb.
tall guy in the airport. Everyone stares at.
No, but really,
That's you.
You are.
Yeah.
How tall are you again?
Hey,
Yeah,
do
that's
you
what
get
I-
this? How tall are you? And you must have played basketball.
Yeah, I get that, but the word, not the worst, but the one that I'm like, why say this to me, is when they tell me like, oh, you're tall. My nephew's 6'4". I'm like, that's 6 inches shorter than me. I don't care.
It's like 4 inches shorter than me. but-
We got that. You got that the other day.
Well, yeah, we're walking out of this gym, and this lady's like, I'm sorry, I gotta ask you a weird question. Like, where do you get your pants? And I was like, at the pants store. she's like, cause, and I was like, here we go. She goes, cause my son, and I'm like, oh, here we go. She's got a tall son. But I'm like, cool. Like, I've gotten this question before. Like, I just tell people, you find the pants
He's gonna
at the
be
store,
6'1".
and then you buy them online because they'll have like a big and tall section. She goes, yeah, my son, he's 6'5". He's 17 years old. I was like, that's not that tall.
That's not that tall.
Like at the Gap.
Yeah, go to Gap and buy whatever TJ buys. He's 6'5". Like,
I literally
what are you talking about?
Never had to buy anything
Yeah,
like some special place.
That-
People
that-
don't realize it's 2025 now.
yeah.
Like, those days are done. This
Yeah.
is the 90s. Where you
They're not like sewing one size fits all.
yeah. You can find whatever you need.
Yeah. No, but I think maybe there's some of that. It's just you're expected to play. And, like, I kind of just fell into basketball because I was, like, tall and athletic, too. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't, my whole life, like, love it. I loved other sports. And so maybe that's what it is about big guys. Or they're just dumb. I don't know. It's one or the other.
Could be both.
Could be both, actually. That's a good point. All right, so I'm going to finish this with Danny, Travis, Lee is 3-4, and Arujo. We need one more guy. We need a wing.
We're not putting Kimmer in there. Or
I think you got to put Jimmer in there.
Go, Jimmy.
Ty.
Yeah. All right, Jimmer, Ty. Ooh. Which one is it? Gun to your head?
Well, if you're running everything.
I'm picking Ty. That's my guy.
If you're running everything through Ty can get a bucket for sure.
Ty.
Yeah.
I played with Ty for.
This is
Even
gonna be
so
wild
years,
if
it
you
was-
guys put a 5 together and it doesn't have Jimmer in it.
That's a
People are gonna
excellent
lose their
point.
minds. We're gonna get canceled.
It's different.
No, it's good. It's good for the
Oh,
clicks.
it's good, yeah.
It's different.
It's
But
excellent
hey,
for the clicks.
if we're sometimes you got Danny Ainge. It's just
What if
hard.
we say Jimmer off the bench? J.R. Smith off the bench, just come light it up. He'd actually probably love that with that squad right there.
I picked Matt Carlino.
That's a killer.
If Matt would ever have bought into the 6-man.
Dude.
Okay, next thing, Matt Carlino.
He's the most underrated ever.
I
at
wouldn't say
BYU.
underrated, because he didn't didn't lay the foundation like Lee
Yeah.
from the work, but he's the most like potential player I've ever played with. Like that's an NBA guy if he
Yeah.
could have put it together.
Really?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Be able to, first time I met him, he threw it off the backboard and did like a full windmill
Wow.
off one step, and I was like, "Well, nice to meet you, man."
You're like fresh off your mission.
Yeah,
You're like,
fresh off
you
my
like can't
mission.
even touch your toes. You're like,
Fresh
"Ooh,
off the mission, I'm
you
trying to
this
touch
is gonna
the
be
net.
fun.
Do you remember that when he like randomly tried to sky up like from like down near
Yes.
the free throw
Yes.
line?
Yes.
It wasn't even close.
What did he end? How did he
He
end
was
up
like on a
finishing that
UW
play?
guy. Nothing. He like
No, I
threw
remember
the ball.
He just like threw it off the rim, like from 8 feet away.
But yeah. It's like,
Dude, yeah, Matt.
What was that?
Matt,
He
I,
could shoot it. He had long arms, big hands. Like he
Yeah.
could, when
How
he
many
wanted
years
to
did he play
defend.
BYU?
2.
was he was a UCLA commit but never played there, right?
That guy.
He redshirted there. I think he
Redshirted there,
redshirted
came to
halfway in the
BYU,
season.
and then finished at Marquette. And he played well at Marquette too.
Yeah, he's good.
I went and played it, watched him play pro in Italy. We weren't that far apart, and he's like one of my all-time favorite teammates. He was hilarious. He has like, I've told this to TJ a couple weeks ago. He has like a couple quotes that like are still stuck in my head just because of like
Really?
how he said it.
What were they?
Well, like the one I was
Stuck
telling
in your head, right? You remember?
the one I was telling him about. We're at like this is a Matt Carlino story. We're at like Sonic at like 3 a.m,
Gosh.
and I don't know who we were with, just some random group that he threw together,
Yeah,
you know.
Sounds right.
Just like more people, we just kept collecting people to this group, and eventually a magician ends up in there. Think of like a classic BYU like Zoob, who like does close up magic. He was like in our crew, right, at Sonic at 2 a.m, and he's doing tricks, and like after he'd do a trick and like blow someone's mind, he'd be like, it's a game changer. The magician kept saying that. And then every time he said it, Matt would look at me and be like, game changer, with these big eyes. And now, like, every time I see or hear or say game changer, it's like Matt Carlino's in my head.
You hear his voice.
Yeah, like, he just lives in my head rent
That
free.
dude was wild.
He's hilarious. That my freshman year team, between you, Chase, Fisher, Matt, Luke Worthington, Bob Medina being our strength coach, we had a funny team. That was a great team.
I only played with Luke, and Luke is hilarious.
Luke is
Leftover Luke is what we called him. The
Dude,
Moose.
I'll never forget when he shot a free throw. I think this was early on, like maybe one of like the preseason games. Luke shot a free throw. We've all been there. It barely hit the bottom of the rim.
Yeah, I remember.
And the crowd wasn't big. This old guy in the crowd yells, "Give it a chance, Worthington!" From there, it was over for Luke from the free throw line. And it was just the funniest thing. Every time he'd be shooting, he would just go behind him and say, "Give it a chance, Worthington." Because it's like the obvious, like, yeah, give it a chance.
You know
But
that
this
made him-
old guy just yells it. And for whatever reason, it was dead silent.
Probably
during that
Grandpa,
moment.
bro.
You gotta look into that.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, Luke's a legend.
Give it a chance, Worthington.
Give
So
it a
that's
chance.
what I'd
man.
always.
Yeah,
with
shout out
life.
Luke. One of my favorite teammates and roommates.
Freshmen together, right?
Yeah, we were in the dorms together, and then we were in an apartment with Frank Bartley too. That was a good time.
Did you live in the dorms ever?
Frank Coop, man.
Frank, he's still
No dorms.
He talked about so much. Has gotten better every year.
yeah.
It's like,
Believes in himself.
he does. He just went from like, I don't know if you can play at BYU to like,
Making really good money.
Making
He
good
was in
money.
China. He was in China last
Yeah,
season,
like
making like
he's-
really good money.
he's killing it.
Yeah, it's good for him. All right, last rapid fire. What's like you're a fitness guy.
Yeah.
That's your lifestyle. It's also your business. Talk about that a little bit. Is there a workout that you dread? Like even you that like this is part of your daily life. Like I think of Alex, like when he sees that there's only stairs and not like an elevator, and his heart starts pumping a little bit, and he's like, God.
He's got to go one set.
Yeah.
One floor.
What is that for you?
Is like a full workout, an exercise for sure is pull-ups.
Mm.
Pull-ups to me, like right before you get up on the bar, it's going to fatigue you every time.
Yeah.
So it's one of those workouts like you could do like a set of bench or whatever, and you'll still have some left in the tank. Pull-ups, like a max set of pull-ups, like you're just shaking, like you're giving it everything you have in that
Yeah.
set. So pull-ups always make me scared before I do them. I always have to be like, all right,
Yep.
here we go.
Psych yourself up.
Yeah, I get pumped for
That
those.
makes
So
sense.
those are hard.
You do more than TJ? How many can you do nowadays? TJ always hits a couple before we leave the office. We have a gym.
I wouldn't be surprised if TJ, you probably do a lot.
Yeah, I can do a few.
Or
How many, though?
What's,
This is
what's
your
the line
chance.
out here? I'm going to say the line's at 10.5.
That's a good line.
For one time?
I was going to guess 10 to 12.
I mean, are we talking?
Yeah, I think over.
Are we talking?
Just one.
Because
We're
when I
talking
do when I
full
pull up, when I do a
extension.
pull up, I'm really trying to I'm
You're-
trying to go slow, and I'm not trying to move my legs at all.
Yeah, I
all
saw.
of the
At
body.
all.
At all.
Zero leg movement whatsoever.
Straight leg.
I can't.
Does it
I
count
can't
if
do
there's
that.
leg movement?
No,
Or no?
no, I don't count.
I don't know if I could.
So line
like,
move to
physically do
8.5
that.
then.
Okay, I'm for sure over.
I bet he'd get 10 of those.
You were talking full extension.
Full extension. You know this. Come on now.
Yeah, he's over. I'll back him up on that. But we could try it out today.
Good.
Test it out. Put your money where your
You
mouth
got
is.
one in here?
Did you do your 60 push-ups yesterday?
No,
I
you
bet
can't do
you
60
didn't.
push-ups.
Oh my gosh, yes I can.
Do you want to talk about that quickly?
Wait, in a row or just you gotta do 60 push-ups?
No, calm down, push-up boy.
Unzip the shirt. I'm like 100 push-ups a day.
I love that.
There you go.
I do love that.
Watch out.
No, well, tell him now. This will be good for you.
I lost. Whatever competition we were doing, I lost. And
No,
okay,
you know,
actually,
you
this
know
is
what
happened.
competition it was.
We're sitting in the office.
It's a shooting competition.
Yeah, you asked me to say it.
Yeah, but don't lie.
Okay, and I said this is actually what happened, and then you started talking.
Okay, sorry. Go.
Stand down.
So we're sitting in the office, and he's like,
Put it in your holster.
we were talking about something. I said, I'll make a half-court shot right now, first shot. And you said, you want to put push-ups on it?
Can I say
So we
something? Can
walk
I say
down.
one thing?
Sure.
It's because I beat him 3 out of the last 4 shooting competitions. Me, him, right? You know how this goes.
Yeah.
He doesn't lose a lot. I win 3 out of
Was it just
4.
like one shot?
No, it's 5 around the 3-point line, and then it's 3 deep ones, and then it's a half-court shot. And I won 3 out of 4. And
Did you just do tricep workout before
Yeah.
or something?
We actually did do that one time.
we
Yeah.
did do that to
Dude.
keep him from winning.
Yeah,
we
you forced me to-
we
we
made
did
us
bench
do
press
sets
before.
of bench beforehand.
Yeah.
TJ probably won like 50 in a row, and we were like, Alex called me one night. It's like 11:30. He's like, dude, we got to figure out a way to beat TJ.
That's a good idea.
So we made us bench beforehand. You had to do so to qualify to make a shot. To shoot a shot, you had to do a bench rep. And so if the competition has 12 shots, you have to do 12
Yeah.
reps of bench.
to fully participate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he still almost won, but I did win that one. So we're sitting in the office, and I said, "You haven't made a half-court shot in our competition in a while, because I'd beaten you 3 out of 4,
Maybe today,
even in that
maybe
one,
that day. I had-
in a while." And so then,
That feels like a lot.
sorry to cut you, but now back to you. He said, "Well, I'll make one right now." Continue.
Yeah, and I went down and missed. That's it.
And we
Where's
bet.
the 60? Oh, where's the 60 come from?
I said, bet push-ups on it then. That you'll do it.
60.
It was if he hit it, I was gonna do 100 by the end of the day, and if he
I
missed, he had
it's
to do 50.
And then I tried to shoot a full court shot for another 10. And I missed that
Oh,
too.
gotcha. So that's where
Sucks
they're
so bad,
60.
bro.
And then you didn't do the push-up.
Yeah, I'll do them. We didn't say it had
That's
to.
a classic.
So
TJ
my
thing,
question
bro.
was just
No.
it has to be 60, not in a row. Not like.
No, just by the end of the day. Just
Can
do
you do 60 in a row?
I could do.
That's a lot.
I'm doing 20, 3 sets of 20.
Here's what people don't realize: 60 push-ups in a row with good form is a lot.
Yeah, most people are hitting these ones.
Yeah, if you're really doing full form, to do 60 in a row, you would have to be in pretty good shape. When people are on social media like, I can do like 55 in a row, I'm like, I don't think so. I just don't believe people.
Mm.
I really don't.
What are you at right now?
I could do 50.
50.
Good
So
form.
I could do
But like when we do it, like we like pause up top, and then like go down and like a very short pause. It's not like a hole, but you just like.
So you just
extend.
do
Show us one right
And then
now.
go
Alex.
down.
your 100 push-ups. Your 100 push-ups.
You
a day,
actually
just
hit
do
your
2 sets
60
of
right
50.
now. Now that we're talking about
I
it.
do 20.
5 sets of 20.
I do my push-ups more not for the physical, more for the mental.
Yeah, just
Like-
something that sucks.
Yeah, I'm just like I'm in a little rut right now, a little low. I'm gonna do 20, get some momentum.
I like
It's
that.
crazy how 20 push-ups can change everything. in your-
Could we all do a push-up right now? You tell us how we can improve our form.
I'll start.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's see it.
Alex and I can't say much, but
Just one?
Yeah, just one.
ooh.
It's pretty good. That's really good, Teach.
It's a good push-up.
All right, I'll go next. I know mine is bad.
Let's see this
Do you need to
push-up.
do a modified version?
Yeah, sure.
I'm like, it's great. A little more. See how his chest dips down? It's gotta be more.
How is that possible? Isn't that like a question of arm length?
No.
No.
So like more straight like that?
Yeah, and then go down so you don't have that. There you go. A little better. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Alex is gonna be terrible.
Alex might not get back up.
A little wide, right?
It's too fast, too. Like,
What? It's a push-up, dude.
just
Are we talking like inside,
A
outside?
little better. But yeah, you kind of want a little bit of an angle.
That's good to know. I didn't know that.
Just a
When you're
little-
doing
TJ knew.
push-ups, are you getting a wide thing or are you getting more of a tricep?
You can mix it up.
what
I
is your
think that's
go-to?
the key. I like more in for me. Just like
That's kind of like,
Yeah,
was I doing
right,
that?
yeah, right where you're at. Like you're like
You
an
crushed
inch or
it.
two outside of
You
the
have-
main touch.
you have
But I like to
59
switch
more.
it up.
I'm one down.
Switch positions. Wide, one day, feet on
Did
the
you hear my
ground.
arms popping?
Get on the
Yeah.
couch.
This is your first push-up in a while.
No, it's just.
Admit it.
It was like, oh man,
It's
body's
like
not
that.
used to this. It's like, what are you doing,
She's
bro?
like that.
TJ
We're all
definitely
broken.
wins that.
Wow.
We should have put something on it.
Should have taken out some of your push-ups for that push-up.
I know I should have. I should have put some
Shoulda, woulda,
push-ups
coulda.
online.
Dummy. Well, speaking of, like, what are you up to? I mean, 100 push-ups, talk about that. That's something you've been doing for
Yeah.
how many years now?
It's been a while.
Promoting it.
Probably, 5 or 6 years.
And you even have an app too, right?
Yeah, just where people can track habits, push-ups.
What is
you
it?
can plug in your own Worth Fitness app. You can plug in any habit you want. You can create, like you guys could go on and create a group.
Let's do it. I'm gonna create a
Call
group right
it
now,
the
actually.
Three Stooges.
Can we do like a waking up before 6
Yeah.
habit?
And so
Yeah.
you could
You can get your
track
third
and
grade
have a
parents on there.
leaderboard. and
Yeah.
We can get them on there, make sure
contest.
that.
Can you
they're
put money
waiting.
on it?
I don't know on the app, but I think you guys could verbally say that.
Worth
Build that
Fitness.
into it. Worth Fitness. Alex downloading it. He's
And
gonna
so my
delete it
idea
as soon as he
behind
leaves the building.
the push-ups was the biggest roadblocks to working out is steps before working out, right? For example, changing your clothes,
Yeah.
getting in the car, going to the gym, getting to the gym. So a push-up to me is instant action to progress.
Mm.
Like right now in 50 seconds and 30 seconds, you could get, let's say 30 seconds, 30 push-ups. Takes 30 seconds. It would take you like 3.5 minutes. If it took you 15 seconds to do 10 push-ups and you spread that throughout your day, it'd take you 3.5 minutes to do 100 throughout your day. So 3.5 minutes can change your whole day. So that was the idea behind it, like giving people something they can easily do and grasp and build on and modify. And you can use like the kitchen countertop to make it easier, or the angle of your stairs, your knees. Alex, you listening? Write that down.
I'm listening.
Or whatever you need to do to modify just to get going. But people sometimes delay progress because they complicate it.
Hmm.
I always tell walking and push-ups to start with that.
Yeah.
And it's once you get the momentum, the next step will appear. Then the next step. Like we all want to be the guys doing 20 pull-ups with a weighted vest. But you have to be willing to be the guy that will do 100 push-ups spread throughout your day for 3-4 months, or
Right.
2 years or whatever. So that's the idea behind it, just giving some simple to grasp.
And, again, touching on what you're up to right now, your 100 push-ups a day is just kind of like
Yeah.
an incentive
Yeah,
that went,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's that went along, or, went along. It's going along with your Twitter and just spreading out, like, hey, move, get your body moving, like that initiative. But you do train people.
Yeah.
As you mentioned earlier, you're waking up early to train those people. So how much is the physical stuff versus like the mental, like also mentoring them
Yeah.
and getting them to just think this way, like, hey, just do a little bit. It's better than doing nothing and then baby stepping it.
Right. So I have 2 parts. I'll go and physically train people, be there and help them out. And then I have an online 90-day program I do for people.
Yeah.
I believe it only takes 90 days and you can transform your whole life forever. I've done it myself. I've seen people do it. So my idea is teaching people the lifestyle of being healthy. It's a mindset, and I have a saying that I truly believe in, that strategy is greater than willpower. Quick example is that, like, you have cookies on the table that are bad for you, you're relying on willpower. You replace those cookies with an upgraded version of them, now that's a strategy.
Mm.
So there's a huge difference. Because most people look at those cookies and say, don't have them. Now you're operating under willpower.
Which eventually breaks.
Which breaks, because which goes back to your environment. Like, if you're in a bad environment that doesn't support your goals and what you're trying to do, you'll eventually break.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is to upgrade those cookies, get rid of like artificial crap, get some good ingredients, put honey in it instead of like nasty stuff. It tastes great, but that's the idea. Strategy will take you further than willpower. Because strategy already has in place that willpower won't be good some days.
And it applies to anything in life.
Yeah.
And
So just like, like you can't, not everything can be willpower. Like, basketball, if everything's about just working hard, physical, you'll just be like everybody else.
Yeah.
Every pro, every good person has an edge of thinking different, being different.
Yeah.
And it's not hours physically.
It's
more hours.
think smarter, not harder.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
that concept. So helping people realize,
Work harder.
yeah, being healthy is actually not that hard if you have the right approach. So I mentor people and teach them the mental side and tell them, help them what to do. So
Yeah.
after the 90 days, they feel like their trajectory is good and they can continue on their own.
Yeah.
Like I don't want people after 90 days. I hope see ya.
What's like the worst thing that clients and just like the world in general, like the biggest obstacle to there being like a healthier population? What's the one thing that is the worst take right now that's maybe even taken as like, oh, this is the healthy way to do it? Or
I just think any quick fix, like the trend is like cold water. Like somehow cold water is just gonna change your whole life.
cold water? I've
Like
never.
cold exposure.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you meant like drinking cold water. I was
That's
like,
bad. Good, really?
I was like, I didn't
Like
know
this idea
This
of-
room temp. Am I gonna die now?
Like
You're gonna die 'cause
people-
it's in plastic, says DJ.
Exactly.
And you.
Exactly. So people will find ways to find the next big thing. Think about it, people are willing to like jump in cold water for like 2-3 minutes.
Freezing cold water.
Freezing. And I'm not saying it won't help. I think cold water to me is more of a mental strategy than a physical.
Yeah, just building your mental.
Yeah, just I
toughness.
can get in cold water.
Right.
So now I get in cold water, now I can eat better, but they think it's kind of like that's the end.
Yeah, solve all.
Have you seen that one?
Yeah, cool
That
water.
one, I think it's a podcast of the dude's like, technically, like when people died on the Titanic, there was like 2 minutes where they were the most healthy they've ever been.
That's
There's like
hilarious.
the cold exposure, like they were probably locked in for like 2 minutes.
They were, I'm gonna lift home 150.
It's so wrong.
I have a question for you. So, like, as far as I just want to hear your opinion on
Yeah.
this. Like, people working out, doing physical activity versus eating right. Obviously, you want to combine both.
Right.
What importance would you give to both of those? Because I have my opinions on those, but I want to hear yours.
Yeah, I think one, I don't. You'll never outrun or outwork out a bad diet.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning you can externally look good, but your internal will take a hit. You see a lot of people. Pancreatic cancer is one of those things where most people that get it actually are like super. They're actually healthy looking,
Mm.
but they're
They're
internal.
active.
Yeah, they just spike their insulin. They have low calories, but their low calories are high in sugar
Mm-hmm.
and high in a bunch of crap. So you'll never outwork a bad diet internally, like your overall health. But I do think eating healthy produces the next step of working out, and it creates this continuous circle. They both kind of feed off each other. But I see more people that will work super hard so they can eat super bad.
Yeah, it's terrible.
But it's rare for me to see somebody that eats super well that doesn't translate that into working out or some sort of a physical lifestyle.
Yeah.
So I see the workout guys that are like, man, yes, I can go reward myself with McDonald's since I ran 7 miles at the gym.
Mm.
So I'd say food. Food's like the staple of a healthy lifestyle. Like if you're eating healthy and you're striving to do that, the working out and other stuff will just kind of accompany it. It's the biggest compound.
I agree with that.
I've read like all your stuff and I think I've texted you before about like the cookies that you have, like we just call them the Kyle Collinsworth cookies at our house, and I will say that along with Matt Carlino, you live rent free in my head when I finish a workout and then there's like some bad food and I have that thought of like, well, I did just work out. So
You're that guy he's talking about.
No.
Yeah.
No, I've turned over a new leaf.
All right, perfect.
New year.
New year. It's all over New Year. And if I fail, there's next year. But yeah, like, because I know you'll make a connection in the brain.
Yes.
It's like, don't reward yourself. When you do something good,
Reward
like working
yourself
out,
with
reward
good.
yourself
Yeah.
with something good, right?
So
And
my-
compound it.
Yeah.
And so that goes in my head when it's like, there's donuts laying around. And I finish
Yeah.
a workout.
Have
I'm
better
like,
strategy.
I
Don't
can
have
have
donuts laying around.
Yeah.
I have a 3-year-old kid that likes donuts, okay? I don't want to hear it.
Well,
Be a better parent. Don't let donuts.
What's
Yeah.
the go-to spot to eat like fast? That's like in. Do you live in Utah County?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't eat out a lot. So
Like if you have to, like you're just on the move and you're moving. What's the go-to spot?
I don't know.
Redmond.
Redmond solid.
I'm just gonna eat there 3 times a day now.
That's
I think
what's
it's
And
some-
then never work out. Alex is hearing is like, so I can eat good, and I don't have to.
No, this
exercise.
whole conversation's going over, Alex. Like, what are we talking about here?
I'm
Like,
Samoan, bro. Okay,
Oh.
we're eating a lot. Right? Get off my back.
you can eat
Just
a
do
lot.
it.
Just make it good food.
Don't tell me what to do.
I'm trying to help you, bro.
Yeah, so I think, reward yourself with good with doing good.
Yeah.
Is a huge principle because it's the law of association. Because you did something good and you connect it to something bad like fast food, that fast food will be a better, like, to the brain, like more excitement.
Mm.
And so what you're doing is all you're doing is putting the bad on a bigger pedestal to your brain. So it creates more of like this dopamine. So
Take notes.
like,
that down.
if you take one good action and compound it with another, your brain starts to see that as like a positive thing, and then you'll connect. You'll start to like it more.
I mean, I like this stuff. TJ's super into this stuff. You do take some heat on Twitter for your health takes, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that annoying?
No.
I feel like sometimes you do kind of throw tweets in there because you know you're going to stir the pot a little bit.
All great innovations and thoughts take heat at first. Okay. So here's one: sunscreen.
That's the one we talked about. I'm with you.
I just don't. There's actually new studies coming out that there's two parts of your DNA. I don't remember fully. There's like the R something, M something. Basically, the one that gets burnt is the R, and that's not connected to cancer. So, to me, logically, like, you get burnt for a reason. That's basically a warning to get out of the sun, and it's normal. But your eyes take in the sun, and they produce melanin, which tells your body to prepare to get a little darker and prepare for more. Like, if you live by the equator, over time you're darker. If you live further away, you're lighter, and that's just evolution of our body adapting. And the reason is vitamin D. If I have lighter eyes and lighter skin, I absorb vitamin D a lot quicker. So in a colder climate, I can get more vitamin D with less sun.
Yeah, you can be more efficient.
Yeah, so it's just basically evolution. So I think sunscreen, to me, doesn't serve a purpose. I mean, some of them already had to remove ingredients. They've got in trouble because they've had nasty chemical ingredients.
Do you think the food that you eat affects your skin getting burnt?
1,000%. I think seed oils, you see it on older people, they have like all these sunspots. I think seed oils and sugar, like, and sweeteners, all that weakens your skin for the sun.
You a sunscreen
1,000%.
guy?
I have transitioned away from sunscreen.
And there's different
So you used to
options.
be a
Like
big
there's,
sunscreen guy.
there's
When we were
I-
kids,
It's got fair skin. But like there's different, I'm not saying like you can't put something on your skin, but the sunscreen we're talking about.
How is that so funny?
I don't know. It's just
Seriously.
funny. It's just funny because he thinks it's funny.
That
What?
I'm a
Are you
sunscreen
are
guy?
you mad at me?
Yeah, I'm mad.
Take it
dude.
up with him. He's the one peeing his pants over here. I'm laughing at his laugh. And yes, I pictured you with like some sunscreen on your nose when you were a little kid.
Okay,
Camp
one
Williams,
we
bro,
all
Camp
put
Williams.
sunscreen on as kids.
We used to do something with Grandpa Ralph, dude, at Camp Williams, in this pool in, where even is it? It's called Birthday Bash. This guy was the sunscreen king, bro. We'd go to the pool every summer with all the cousins and this dude.
Yeah, and I wasn't getting burnt.
Wasn't healthy.
So it works.
Yeah, it wasn't healthy though. Because I was probably eating Doritos and.
So that's not the problem. You're not saying it doesn't work. You're just saying it's chemicals. Why put it all over your
Yeah,
body?
it's
Yeah,
just
they're
like-
terrible.
Of course
I'm
it'll
not
work.
saying you can find a mineral sunscreen. You can find like beef tallow. Is a lot of people back like tribes
Seems like it would
used
cook me.
Yeah, you could put it. They put it on, and you have hats. You have shirts. I'm not saying you don't get
Yeah,
burned.
that's it. You just wear clothes. Gloves.
Yeah, like when I go
Gloves.
to Hawaii or something, the first couple of days, like I'll be out in the sun for 30 minutes, and then I'll put on a shirt or a hat, and like kind of microdose my way into it.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying sunscreen is bad.
Woodengrill.com.
But when I say sunscreen, we all know it's like that blue copper tone from Walmart that everybody's been
Yeah.
using.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying like
There's
some
not good
mineral.
options,
Like,
right, yeah.
There are some
not
good
options.
options.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
good options, but it just doesn't make sense to me that the sun is out all the time and it's like making you die. Like obviously there's a lot more into that, but that's just like the thought. Like,
When you put it that way, I'm with it.
it's just like I don't see. I
like
think
it.
all our
I like it.
ancestors would be dead.
Sounds good for you.
Well, they are dead.
Yeah, exactly. Like they would have. Yeah, you're right. Dang it, sunscreen is pretty good.
Got him.
Got me.
He's flustered. He doesn't know. Let's go back at everything I said about sunscreen.
I was wrong. Our ancestors are all dead.
Okay, wait,
But
continue.
you take a lot of heat for the sunscreen.
A lot.
No
but
pun intended.
So you'll see with this new RFK, you'll see in a couple of years, like the cat will be let out of the bag. There'll be studies showing that sunscreen has been.
That's
What-
good. I hope that happens.
Yeah, we'll
'Cause
have-
RFK, obviously I know what RFK is. Eric probably doesn't. There's probably a lot of people listening who don't know what is RFK.
what does RFK stand for?
For them, I know what it is.
You want to say it on 3?
No, I'm just like for everyone else.
No, I know. I know that I know.
So for everyone else.
And since you brought it up, I'm convinced you don't know.
No, I just want like. 'cause
Okay,
they,
on
they
3.
want to hear from
On
Kyle.
3, just tell.
No,
Let's just say what R stands
No,
for.
they just wanna,
On 3.
They just wanna,
If you don't do it, it means
you
you're
want me to
admitting
say
you don't know.
R word that's.
1.
No, we're good.
Yeah.
I need to
Okay.
hear from Kyle. I need to hear from Kyle.
All right. So you don't know.
No, I know.
Is there a question in there?
Yeah, what does RFK stand for the listeners who don't know? I know, obviously. Like, I know. Obviously, I know.
It's Robert Downey Jr.
I got you right from the movies.
From Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, you know that guy.
He's our Make America Healthy Again guy.
Yeah.
Robert F. Kennedy.
Yeah, Robert.
Okay, there you go. He's gonna make America healthy again.
Do we know what the F stands for? Because I don't, and that's what I was.
That's what I'm saying. He's
I don't
got
know,
Franklin.
but
I bet,
I
it's
know
Franklin.
Robert.
I bet money is Franklin.
That's a good bet. I won't bet against that.
Hey Siri, what does the F stand for in RFK Jr.?
Oh, it's a person. I didn't know.
Okay, it was not Franklin. Anyone? Any other
I have no
guesses?
clue.
Frederick. Frank.
Yeah, Francis. Probably.
Yep, Francis.
Wow.
Good for you.
That was it. That would have.
He knew the whole time. Okay, speaking about what you're up to and staying on that health topic, one of my favorite things about Kyle, when we were both still playing pro, you know the name of the show is called Washed Up, by the way. We should probably tell people that before they jump on. Jeremy was kind of caught off guard. You're washed up.
Yeah.
You don't play anymore. But when we were still playing, and TJ was in this group, we had a good group. Like, it's hard to get pickup going, and that was actually frustrating for me in off seasons. One, it's hard to find big guys that are good, that are healthy, that are in town. Like, finding somebody for the whole summer is hard to do. But then you expand that out to like 5-on-5 consistently, getting like a good group, because it's like good to go to the college and like whoop those dudes every once in a while, but like
You don't get.
you don't get better. You get good cardio, but it's like you got to get better. So we just started doing that 3-on-3 group that was like killer.
Mm-hmm.
It was us 3, Yoli, Sam, Merrill, and Jake Toulson, and that was a lot of fun. And my favorite thing about getting back to what I was starting on was I love telling people that was like, at least from my understanding, the only basketball that you would do in the off seasons. The rest of the time you were just doing karate.
Yeah.
Like, you were the only person I knew that, you know, would play their pro season, come back home, touch a ball every once in a while, but was mostly just doing karate. Can you talk about why that came to be? Because I thought it was cool.
One.
I didn't understand it, but I thought it was cool.
Well, I've played my whole life, so I'm like, I don't need to like. It sounds. Yeah, I'm already good. So. Like, meaning like, I know where I'm at.
Yeah.
And I'll get better, but the biggest like thing in off season, especially when you sign a deal, like
Yeah.
you got a contract, you feel good about the contract.
You just
it's a
gotta stay
couple
healthy.
years. The name of the game is staying healthy and being available for your team. So at that point in my career, I'm like, I can't overdo it. And 3-on-3 to me, logistically, is like it's good cardio. Like if you get a good group, it's very intense. You move a lot, even though it's half court, because it's nonstop. So my whole idea is like inviting different movements into my pattern. And karate, martial arts is, my hips are tight, so I want to open up my hips. Dude, it's brutal. It's just flexibility, all that stuff. So I just create new movement patterns, not overdoing it. Because to me at that point, the NBA was, I'm done with the NBA. Like, did it, don't need to do it more, don't need to pursue it more. I'm about making money as much as I can in the short window that I had.
Yeah, I'd have to stay healthy, intact.
So at that point in my career, I was just, trying to stay healthy. And because your availability at that point when you have a contract is your number one way to get more money, keep getting money. So.
And do you still do it or no?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah. Want to fight?
Should we do, along with chess, should we do karate
Along with
match?
chess?
Six
Who's
months
the,
from now?
Who's the
Our
chess?
last guest, Jeremy.
None of us. Yeah.
Chess? I actually want to start playing chess.
Well, we're gonna have a tournament in 6 months. You should sign up.
Why 6 months?
Well, we need some time to prepare. And Jeremy told us if we dedicated our lives for 6 months, we could catch up to him. So none of us are doing that, obviously.
We're starting now.
How do you guys play the chess match yet?
No,
I've talked about it.
You guys have a background? You like, know how to...
He doesn't even know the pieces.
He doesn't know the
They're
pieces.
called.
No, it's not a bad thing. Hey, that's not a bad thing if you don't know how to play.
Did you see how fast?
I know the basics.
What are you doing here? You're flustered, right?
You're flustered, bro.
No.
I'm gonna beat him in chess before the game even starts.
I used to know how to play. I forgot.
Forgot, yeah.
You?
I know the basics. I don't know any moves, but I know every piece and what it can do. I'm not good.
Okay. Yeah. So you know
That's
the
where I'm
strategy.
at.
That's where we're
Yeah.
at.
That's
Good Tim. He's
I'm
not there.
beginner level 1
Yeah.
of chess. I know
Is there a
how to
way
play.
we could combine chess and karate? Could be cool.
Probably.
Kind of like how we like every rep of what we were doing, like 150 or something, equals a shot. It's like every what do
What
you
if
call
you
it?
knock out
Every
a
hit
piece of
is like
somebody?
you get a move.
They have to take like a kick from you.
I like that.
The bigger the piece, the bigger the kick.
Have you run into Kyle Davis recently, and have you talked about maybe some fighting,
He does what? Taekwondo?
Jiu-jitsu.
jiu-jitsu?
Jiu-jitsu? No.
He's just on his back. Just.
Could we get that going? I would pay a considerable amount of money to watch that because I love you both.
It was considerable.
$15.
No. Yeah, I know. Last time I saw him was that thing we did.
Yes or no? Would you whip his ass?
Yes.
I love that. Well, you're not gonna say no.
I think he'd say probably yes too. I don't know. I just feel like he better be ready to take some kicks.
Yeah.
So.
Well, he
And
will.
he's better.
Yeah, be on the ground.
Yeah, he's on the ground. That wrestling stuff's good though.
Yeah.
That's my next phase is implementing that into my arsenal.
He broke a.
He
broke
told me
a,
that story. That was hilarious.
He broke what?
One of his sparring mates. He broke their leg. By accident, obviously.
That's why I didn't get into that when I first started because I was still playing. He's like, you can like I tore my ACL before. You can get caught up in
In a hold or
Yeah,
just
I
like
broke
it's
my
awkward.
leg pickup
Yeah.
the other night. He freaking kneed me in the thigh. I had a dead leg for a month.
You're still talking about that?
Yeah, bro. Oh.
Is this guy the softest dude in here?
For sure. He was the third in push-ups.
Yeah.
Correct.
He was third. We know that. That was bad.
We don't know that, apparently.
Yeah, we do. We do know that.
Guess what?
We know
I'm
who
for
was
sure
clear
not the softest
first.
in here.
TJ was clear first.
I love that.
I'm for sure not the
Things are
softest in
shifting
here.
and you're kind of
I'm
where you belong.
For sure not the softest.
We're on an island. Alex,
That's racist. First off, I belong on an island.
That's not what I said.
Why?
I did not
because
say
I'm
you.
Samoan. I belong on an island.
First of all, you brought up that you were Samoan and different earlier.
I did, so you should be aware of
And
that. So
I
just
didn't say you
belong. You said
belong.
go back to my island. That's
No, it's what
Sir.
it's not what I said. It's what I was thinking. That's not the same thing.
Later today, make an official apology video.
I'm canceled.
Apology video.
No, really, bro. Come on, come on.
what?
For real, bro.
I'm not racist.
This is too much.
I don't. I'm just saying what you said. But
I actually. Do you know why Kyle Davis got into it? Actually, I feel bad telling that. He needs to tell it, so I'll tell you after. But for very valid reasons that I feel, I'm like, if I was ever in a tight spot, I wouldn't feel confident to like defend myself. Like just being,
what's a tight spot?
I don't know, getting pressed by somebody on the street in Lehigh, Utah. You never know.
Someone talking crazy, your spouse or something, kids.
Also,
Here's what I want to use it for. I want to use it to diffuse the situation.
Use it to diffuse it. That's.
I don't want to.
how are you using karate to diffuse?
Like, no, here's
Sure,
what happened.
bro.
If you came up and talked crazy, just one kick to the front of your leg, you'd rethink your whole strategy.
Can you imagine that?
No, really. Like when that knee buckles.
Ow!
No, because your
Did he
knee,
just
your
kick
whole
me?
knee will buckle, and you won't be able to put weight on it, and then you'll think twice about, do I really want to throw a punch?
So is that your first move?
Yeah,
That's
I'm
it.
kicking you right in the front of your
Well,
leg.
now
Whatever
we know.
stance you have.
Now Kyle
It's
Davis
like,
knows.
did he just kick me? Like just.
How hard?
You're trying to.
Did you just kick me? And before you can even ask, Kyle is already like chopping you in the throat.
Kyle, did you just kick me? That Kyle's just.
Yeah, he's running on his back. That's what he'd do. He'd just get on the back and.
That's what he says though. He's like, if we can get to the ground, I'm winning. So
I know,
that's
it's like, why would I like voluntarily get to the ground with you?
But
I,
Eric,
I still tell him
Just
I'd
take
kick
this
his ass.
Eric's
without
a wild
crying.
card because you got a lot of weight. You're a strong cat.
Strong weight.
You
He
could
doesn't
maybe
want to
win.
hear that right now.
Could
You
win
got a lot of
130.
weight.
130 times 2. Fighting 2 130s at the same time.
So you weight matters. Like I fought against third-degree black belts that are like 170 pounds. Like I'm whooping you.
Really?
Yeah, just because weight matters. That's why they have divisions.
Yeah.
It's like you could kill somebody. Like these real fighters.
Yeah.
Like if a 210 went down to 160, like they might like kill him. I'm being serious.
Well, but
They take a
if they
punch.
go, oh, you're saying go down at that weight. I
Yeah,
thought not
yeah.
that they lose. Okay, that makes
Well,
sense.
look at Conor McGregor when he fought Nate Diaz.
Yeah.
The punches he was landing and it did nothing to him. Nate
Yeah.
Diaz is bleeding. Just like yes, more.
Yeah, Nate Diaz.
Yeah,
But like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the weight difference for that weight in it. He's used to landing like someone 180 in that.
Are you
Yeah.
taking a punch? Do you think you could take a punch
Yeah.
without getting slapped?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, what's like the biology of getting slept? Like, is it? I don't know if there's anything I can do about that, but like I've been hit in the face a lot, like
Yeah,
elbowed
you're not
straight in the
lasting
face.
20 seconds in the octagon with
I'm not.
McGregor.
I'm.
What?
Well,
He's killing McGregor.
Oh my gosh.
McGregor's
I
like
was-
4'6".
I thought you were gonna say like someone like. Have you seen the? I'd be in the heavyweight. Have you seen those guys? Like, yeah, not 5
Yeah,
seconds.
John
I'm
Bone
climbing.
Jones is killing him.
I'm
Conor
climbing out
McGregor's
of the octagon.
having
Okay,
to
yeah.
climb up
But you
on
can't.
top of the octagon to try to touch his chin.
No.
Hey.
If Eric's in the octagon, with
No,
everybody,
you're getting smacked.
You're
by
getting
McGregor.
slept.
Yeah.
okay,
Quick.
we're not talking about that.
No, I think I can take a punch, but like if I don't know what it takes to get knocked out. Like, yeah, if Mike Tyson punches me in the face, I'm
it's
probably
more
getting
about
knocked out.
where you get hit.
But if like I'm just in a fight with a regular dude, he punches me in the face, I'm not gonna like run away.
You're not
I don't know what
getting-
the
You're not
question
getting
is.
slept.
No, I don't think so. I've
Here's
been
what's
hit in the
hard
face
about
a lot.
Eric is like you got to throw it upwards.
Yeah, that's true.
It doesn't matter. Like you got to throw
Kyle
a
knows what
punch.
he's
Is that more likely to knock you out if you're getting hit under the chin?
It's just if you get a good, but still, like think about uppercut. The reason why it's
Well, what do
good
you
is
know?
if you're low.
You're karate boy.
But like if you have to go
Then
up
you-
to an
yeah, you gotta
uppercut
know.
and you leave past the core center area,
There's not
like
much
there's
power.
the power goes down a ton. So Eric, but the thing about him, he's punching down.
Yeah.
On people.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Do you remember Jermaine O'Neal's punch in the Palace?
Oh yeah.
The brawl when
Watched
he just
it.
came down with that left hand.
I
Boom!
don't want to do it two-hand.
But
Pause.
it makes a difference. So
Have you ever been in a fight?
Yeah.
And
I'm undefeated.
you have little brothers.
expound.
I have big brothers.
I know you're not undefeated.
Hey, you want to know
Go
a
on.
funny story, actually?
You have big
I got a
brothers,
knife
or
pulled on
something.
me at the RB hooping.
No, you didn't.
I swear on everything. If there's witnesses, you can ask. But Mitch Matthews was there.
The Richards building.
Yeah. I got a knife pulled on me there, bro.
Twins.
You were talking too much?
Oh, I was talking a lot.
Was it like another hat guy?
Good one.
That's so
That was a
stupid.
good one, bro.
So you took the knife in that hat.
No, but I'll tell that.
No, please tell it now. Now's the time. I'd like to hear
Just
that.
keep
That
names
I've never
quiet.
heard of violence in the RB.
More
Yeah,
than that,
so-
I just want to hear about your fights with Jake.
With Jake, my brother.
Yeah, with Jake, your brother.
He's 10 years older than me. He's 6'5", 350.
I know, that's why I'm saying you're not undefeated.
There's never been a fight with my brother.
Just you don't even try.
No, there's no trying
It's a
there.
great point. You are
Anyways,
undefeated.
at the
You're
RB,
G-Feed.
so we're hooping. Me and some of my teammates. It's like we have a squad. It's like me and Taysom and Mitch, and just
That is a
some-
squad.
Some of our
That is a squad.
some of our teammates.
This is off season. I'm assuming. Like,
Yeah, it is.
okay, that's right before the bowl game.
Yeah, so it is off
That's why
season.
few of us miss.
But yeah.
Off record.
But so we're playing. You guys probably. I don't know if you guys go play pickup. So with randoms, but it's like when people try to prove themselves, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah, for sure.
And we probably experience in hoops a little bit more just because we go and put ourselves out there to hoop with randoms, whereas you guys hoop in like exclusive places. But it's like their time to shine.
They want to prove that they're.
Yes.
They
so
should
we're
have been a
getting
D1
into
athlete.
it, right? They're like, I should have played. Someone might be watching. Dave Rose is up here. He might be peeking in, seeing what's going on.
Which I mean,
it's
it's valid.
we've
Could
all
happen.
been
You
we've all
don't
been in
know.
the driveway as a kid and been like, there might be a scout driving by right here. Let me hit this. Like, but so we're playing. We start getting into it with this kid, and it just like keeps escalating. And finally, like, me and him get into it, like, a lot. And he's like, all right, I'm coming back with something for you. And I was like, I'm from Millville, Utah. I don't know what that means. I'm like, okay. And he just dips. And so he leaves. 30 minutes later, he's sitting.
30 minutes is crazy, too.
We're still hooping.
Do you think you went to the
He's just
store?
building up his
Yeah.
courage.
He went to
So
Cabela's.
he's sitting. We look over,
To Cabela's.
and O'Neal Chambers comes up, and he's like, "Hey, bro, just so you know, old boy's back." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he's sitting in the doorway at the RB, hoodie on, like 8 Mile type thing, right? He's hoodie on, hands in both of his pockets, and I look at it, and I'm like, this guy's got a gun. Like, it starts to click in my head that I'm like, okay, he said he's coming back with something. I know what that means now. And so, so he's saying, he's sitting there, and I'm like, okay, this guy's got a gun. I'm like kind of freaking out a little bit. He starts to walk onto the court, and he goes to like try to like pull something out of his pocket, and it's just like getting caught. The dude he finally gets out of his pocket. And he went home and just grabbed the biggest kitchen knife, like full triangle, like kitchen knife. Okay, but it gets weirder, bro. It gets weirder. So he pulls it out, and like at that moment, I'm like, oh, it's a knife. I can run from a knife. And I immediately start talking shit. And I immediately start talking shit. And I'm like, you went home and grabbed the biggest kitchen knife you could find. Like, put the knife down. Like let's fight. And then O'Neal Chambers like steps in between, and O'Neal's big dude. He's
the receiver?
Yes.
From Florida?
He's from Florida, yep.
Yeah.
Big dude, and he's like, O'Neal's like, you're not going to do shit. And this kid's like, and so now I'm feeling even more confident. I'm like just talking mess to this dude. And then, this is the craziest part of it. All of a sudden, this Hispanic girl, she looks like maybe 16, 17, like runs into the gym with a baby, and she's like, you gonna do this in front of your baby? And we're like, what's going on? And this guy, and she's like, she just starts like
This did not
screaming.
happen.
I swear, you can ask Mitch, you can ask any of those people I mentioned.
I will.
Do it. And so she's like, you gonna do this in front of your baby? And like starts like screaming, and he just gets spooked and dips. At this point, there's 10 Zoobs on the phone with the police and the FBI, like acting like it's the craziest thing that's ever happened.
Well, it is.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, just
It got diffused.
they're acting like there was like a terrorist attack or something.
Yeah.
But so this guy leaves. This girl's still like, he's not from here, this and that. And so eventually we're like, we got to get out of here before the police come. And so we dip. We go to Legends. Just Legends
Just
Sports
super
Group.
We gotta get as far away from here as we can.
So
Walk
we
across the
walk
street.
20 yards to Legends. We're just to get the giant cookie that they have. But so Ren Brown is from Georgia. He was a played receiver. He's there. And he was playing with us originally. And I realized, I was like, Ren, where did you go? He's like, where I'm from, if somebody says you're coming back with something, you leave. And we were like, you just didn't like let us know?
You idiot.
Like you didn't just like, you didn't tell me? Like, what the hell?
Thanks
he's,
for the heads up.
he's like, anyways, what happened? And so we're telling the story. But
That's so funny.
yeah, that happened at the RV. You can confirm with my sources.
I will confirm it. We'll have Mitch on here just to
The
ask him
best
that.
part, she's
One
like,
question.
we're not from here. You're like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
we got that part.
And I'm like,
this
that
is a
doesn't-
RB.
Yeah.
BYU.
It's the red
Or
dress
a knife.
building.
RB's kind of wild though. Not that extent, but there's some wild ones.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just
RB.
pick
Yeah,
up.
there's stories on stories.
It's just pick up. I mean,
Different type of stories.
it does bring up an interesting point, though. Do you feel like as the karate skill level increased, did your like trash talk increase as well? Like, did you feel more confident, like maybe talking to
it
people because you're like
decreased.
it decreased
Yeah.
because you didn't have it.
I'm a wild. I can be wild in basketball, like talking smack. It's just like you just feel more like whatever. It's more composed.
Who was the best trash talker like that you had like a back and forth with? Like, do you remember one? Does one stick out?
I don't know. I don't. You know me. I always talking smack to somebody.
Yeah. Did you ever go to?
Zane.
Yeah, or something that you were going after.
It's
Eric's like,
classic.
I got mine.
You got yours.
Yeah, I just call him ugly.
Okay, that's a good one.
It's tough to come back from. Or you call him ugly or a loser. It's like what do they say? You just revert to like such a basic kindergarten level like insult, and like what are they gonna come back at you with like
What if they
I'm
just
rubber,
hit-
you're glue?
I'm rubber, you're glue.
It's like,
Go straight for the
you're a
heart.
loser and you're super ugly. What are they gonna say? No, you're ugly.
And what's the funniest thing that like a student section ever came at you with?
Oh, that's a good one. That's probably better than your go-to.
I don't even know. Utah State was wild. But the problem is when we played Utah State, we just played unbelievable. I think Ty had a 30 ball. I had like 20, 10, 5, 7 or whatever. We were balling. So we roasted them up at Utah State. But their crowd was wild.
Well, they got the pamphlets where they're like,
well, like
taking
even like on
notes.
a more personal, like even like high school student sections, I bet just playing in Utah County, people just say the most absurd stuff or random stuff. Like what's like just any interaction basketball wise. I feel like from a high school they get more personable, probably specifically towards you because you're the most known player on the team.
This goes back to you asked, like, on social media, does that stuff kind of bother you? Like, you throw that out there. The reason why, I don't care. Like, the sunscreen stuff, people come and, like, say, it doesn't, like, I don't care. Like, the whole point of social media is you have your opinion, you share it. So, like, I wouldn't even know because I just think it's funny.
That's what I mean. Like the funniest thing.
So I don't even, like, I'm just laughing, but I can even register, like, some of the stuff they said because I'm just like, whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
Like, because you have to get to that point.
Yeah.
Like, you know, being in high school, you guys won 10,000 games in a row. Like, you just have to get to a point where you know you're really good, and you know with that comes, like, all the BS, and you just are already mentally prepared for it. So you're just like, whatever. Like, we're playing Utah State for BYU. It's like, it's going to be wild.
Yeah.
So you kind of just don't really know. But Utah State was wild. I remember we showed up to shoot around, I think the day before or the day, I can't remember, and they were waiting for us.
Like the student section was already there.
Yeah, like the day before, we showed up the day before, did like a night shoot around in the gym. They were waiting for us.
They were in the stadium?
No, like outside.
Oh,
as we
I
were
was like, they
entering.
can't.
Camping out.
They can't
Yeah, they were just like the
Yeah.
last entrance we could get in to
Yeah.
escape them. They were a huge group, probably 100, 200 people.
I like am trying to like fish my memory for mean things that people have said to me. Like, you know, I mentioned the DMs, but like an actual fan like yelling something from the crowd, I can't really remember either. But I do remember Utah State played by the Delta Center when TJ and I played together, and they always have funny signs too. And one that I thought was hilarious was they said something like Nick wasn't even AP in his mission or something like that. And I was like, that's hilarious to me because it's like
You know,
only
they-
Utah State can like play on that.
Yes, because
and,
they
like,
have the information and
Yeah.
they're part of like the
Yeah.
culture,
but they can make fun of BYU for it.
but they can get out.
Like the guy holding the sign like was probably in Nick's mission or something like that. Like it's like also a
I
fellow
was talking
missionary.
off topic to a buddy of mine about Utah State. To give them their flowers, they have an unbelievable culture.
Yeah.
Their culture's so good they can replace their coach
Yeah.
and it does nothing to their program.
It's
Think
wild.
about
4
that.
times.
That was wild.
4 times in their program.
And probably 5, right? This year to go to the tournament.
Probably.
Is it the 4th or the 5th? I think it's the 5th.
How many coaches have they had since Stu Morrill? Like 4, 5?
At least 4.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows Utah State's like the best job to get here to move up.
Yeah.
Like, so
but
it's a wanted job.
But that's what's probably frustrating for them is they're just like,
But it doesn't
it's
do
a great
anything
job
to
to
them.
stay here.
How do they do that?
Yeah.
Actually, like
I don't. It needs to be like studied how Utah State produces good team after good team with losing a coach. It doesn't do anything
It's-
to like
no,
their
it's great.
morale, their culture. Basically, what I'm saying is their culture isn't made by a coach. It's improved by a coach. Their culture's already there by their community.
they don't have like a staple player either though.
They're
Yeah.
just
Every year they get a new guy and
they're just
Figure
good.
it
They
out.
figure it out. Their culture from their community just sets the standard,
it's almost
and the
like
coach
Cache Valley's
meets
just like
it.
built different.
It is. It's a different.
That's why you're such an anomaly, bro.
It's almost like it's just different up there.
That's right. He's from up there.
Yeah,
Dang it. Cut.
Throw it all in the trash.
Cut.
One thing that we wanted to talk about is that Sweet 16 run.
Yeah.
What it was like being on that team, and I mean, did you feel like your time at BYU? You know, speaking of culture, like for me, the team I was on before my mission versus after was like so different. I don't know if there was a single guy that was still there. You know, so like that probably happened to you as well, and that was probably a pretty drastic change considering you went to the Sweet 16. What was that experience like what was it like coming home from your mission? Talk about like the difference in teams and also the Sweet 16 run. I think people would love to hear about that.
I mean, that's a good team we had. And
Yeah.
you look back, obviously Jimmer, but like Jackson's super good. We had guys that didn't even play that the following year were like BYU's like main guys.
Yeah.
Like a Brock Zylstra didn't even sniff the floor. You know, the next year after,
He was the guy.
He was like a big participant in BYU basketball. So that team, like a Noah Hartstock, people know how good that guy was.
Yeah, he's
Steven Rogers, like 6'8" sniper from Arizona, like he was like 8th off the bench. Charles Abu and I are fighting for starter minutes. Like that team was just stacked. It was like the perfect team. You know, obviously Jimmer, the bucket getter, the clutch guy, he player of the year, but then the pieces around it. Like we were talking about forming a team, like it had the pieces around it.
yeah.
Brandon, my brother, he got hurt early though, but like we were so deep. We had so much versatility.
Do you think about? I'm sure like most fans think often about. They're always what if people. You know, like we've talked about this on the show and also a lot externally about TJ's team that got shut down by COVID. That's the biggest what if ever.
Yeah, that was a great team. That was
You know,
one of the-
would have for sure, you know, was poised, was built like that, right? Like I think you've said that before, where it's just like, yeah, there's just a different feeling, right? Because like everything, it just fits better than other puzzles, right? But do you play the what if game with Brandon at all? Like thinking about, man, if we had him in the tournament, like a lot of fans will do, what you guys could have
Yeah,
done.
it would be, obviously it's hard not to say we would be better off.
Yeah.
But without Brandon, it made us different. I had to move to the 4. Charles came, he was on the bench, he was inserted to the starting lineup, and Noah went to the 5. So it kind of made us a unique team in the sense that we had a little more versatility.
Yeah, small
Noah
ball.
shot
Right.
at the 3, small ball. Me at the 4, I was able to still rebound at a high level with the versatility of like being able to handle the ball. Like some games, like Gonzaga played us in the tournament, and Kelly Olynyk, before Kelly Olynyk, when he had big cankles and could barely move, like he had to guard me. So at the end of the game, like I just had the ball, like putting out the shot clock, and then I go make a play, you know, give it to Jimmer, then he'd attack. Whereas like if Jimmer has it, like they're just pressuring,
Yeah, they're just
guards,
focused in
but
on
like
that.
Olynyk couldn't guard me in that, or whoever was at the 4 spot, because it would have been a guard.
Right.
And so it made us different, but obviously with Brandon's like an all-time BYU guy. Like you'd have to assume I like your chances better.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it's
at least
different.
gives you different options, right?
Yeah.
So if the small ball thing wasn't working or there was a matchup that was in their favor, then you just go big, which is what you did all
I think
year.
Brandon was probably our 3rd leading scorer.
Yeah.
Probably on that team.
Probably leading rebounder.
Leading rebounder.
Yes. Yeah,
So
no.
I think Jackson's probably 2nd, probably 12, 13 a game. So he's probably
Yeah.
8 or 9, 10 a game. So obviously the answer is yes. But we were 1 rebound away from beating Florida.
Yeah.
I know. I was there that game.
Like we were watching.
You at that game?
I still remember there's
Yeah.
3 of us just kind of like all looking at each other. Like, you gonna get it? I'll get it. And it just kind of just. So
Who were the 3?
I was one of them.
Get them out of there.
It's alright. I had 15 of them. So.
Where was that game?
It was in New Orleans.
Because
I wasn't there. My dad and I
That
just
was on
went.
his mission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang, that's a bummer too.
I know. Yeah, well, if Ty would have stayed.
I remember I had a science teacher, I think he was in middle school, who played lacrosse at Cornell. And maybe I think Cornell's won a national championship since then, but this is like back in the 70s or 80s.
The Andy Bernard.
Yeah, Andy Bernard, Big Red. But they hadn't won. I think they have won in the last 5 years. I'm probably wrong, but until that, they had never won. They had won 2 championships back to back, and it was the 2 years that he was on his mission. They were just like close every year he played, but then they won 2 while he was gone. That'd be hard. And you know, going back to your college days, something that everyone's talking about, and I'd love to hear. I think we'd love to hear your take on is NIL. How different? First of all, say whatever number you want. How much money would you have made if it doesn't make you too sad? And what do you think about it? What could improve? What do you like about it? What do you not like about it? You for it or you against it?
I think it's inflated.
For sure.
I mean, I love a lot of these players. I'm happy for them. like, sweet, get yours. But, like, these guys are making more than professionals that are super, super good. You know, whether it's Europe or wherever. So I think it's inflated. I think it will balance out over time because people are going to realize, like, oh, we don't have to pay these guys this much.
Mm-hmm.
But it's tough.
Yeah, but then it's like, then if the general consensus is that, what's stopping one school from going, well, we will, and then we'll get the best, right?
That's true.
So it's hard.
I don't know. But I think eventually it will. I mean, you got guys, like, averaging single digits that are making close to $500,000.
Hurts.
Like, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
Like, think about that.
That's
like,
you, bro. You would have been making nice. Close to $500,000.
I mean, like, think about TJ, his junior year, going into his senior year, like, his value. I'm guessing you obviously probably averaged 13, 15 a game junior year, around there.
You
Like,
know,
that,
what is it?
well beyond double digits, which in NIL money is, like, valuable.
Yeah.
Probably 14-5. Like, that's
And won some games,
in one games and is the man on a team.
which maybe doesn't matter as much as it should, but
But like, they see TJ like, oh, this guy can handle the flow of a game and he can control a game and get you 14, 15, can go off for 25, 30 any night, but can consistently get you that, get you 5 assists a game, 5, 6. Like, that's, for TJ, that's 600, 700,000. Easy. Sorry, buddy.
Darkness.
I think it's more. Chris Burgess told us it was more like $1 million.
Yeah, I'm saying I agree.
It's at least,
it's
though.
easy.
Yeah.
Like, meaning no questions asked.
Making $1
He's
million
getting-
overseas is like a
You,
huge
yeah,
task.
if
It's
you
rare.
make $1 million
It's rare.
overseas, you have to be like half Batman, half, you know.
No, you have to. Yeah.
You got to be really good. You got to be.
You,
solid.
yeah, you're in like China on the top half of paying teams, but even then you have to be like the guy. It's not like
You've
every guy in
proven
China is
yourself,
making
too. Like,
$1
nobody's
million.
coming out making that.
Yeah.
You're like 5 years in.
No, the only guys that go to Europe and make $1 million are like Kemba Walker, you know, who went to Monaco and he probably didn't even. I don't know.
Or
I
you
don't
got
know
to
if
be
he
like
made
a
$1 million.
Brandon Davies.
Yep.
Well, yeah, right.
Is there more money in
but
basketball
Brandon
than
Brandon
in
started
football?
at probably
200 around.
maybe
there.
less.
I think 120.
and then worked his way up,
Into
like
the
double
Across,
each year.
across the board.
I'm
What's
just talking about
that?
like top athletes, though. I'm saying
Top athletes, yeah. I mean,
you making more in basketball NIL or football NIL?
if you're a quarterback, I mean, AJ's making more than most quarterbacks.
Actually, no, he's not. Nico Yamaliava.
Basketball's making more than football.
8 mil, Nico.
On average, yeah, because it's a smaller team,
Basketball's
right?
Smaller scale.
I know, I'm just saying like top player wise.
Oh yeah, you get a quarterback that sucks. So good for
But I don't know, cause like
Yeah.
Miami guy, right?
Yep.
What was it, 8 mil? 7?
I don't know.
Who even knows?
But Nico's is like a
Nobody
4-year
knows.
deal, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Whereas
What?
AJ's is a 1-year deal.
9-month rental.
Yeah.
for-
That's the thing about basketball.
wait, he's like 4 years, 8 mil total.
Yeah. Nico.
Oh, so yeah, AJ's making
Wait,
more.
who's
Yeah.
Nico?
Yamaliava, quarterback at Tennessee.
Oh yeah. Where's he going? Staying Tennessee?
Yeah, he's staying in Tennessee. Well, he signed. I think he's going into his 3rd year.
That is also interesting. The whole signing for multiple years. Do you think that will be a new trend?
I think
It has to.
I
I
think
don't
it
know
has
the
to be.
details of his
Yeah.
contract or
We talked about that.
his deal or whatever it is. I just vaguely remember that. He's a Samoan quarterback, so I follow him. You'd probably tell him to go back to his island.
The best teams in football and
You
basketball.
retire there, though, no? Go back to the island.
The best teams will be the ones that have the most chemistry.
So you think the multiple year deals are next?
And it's the
with
best
NIL?
for the fans too.
Well,
It's
dude,
yeah.
like,
football
like
wise,
you look at like Richie
I
this
agree.
year and like Foose and all those guys. It's like
People know them.
they're our guys. They're BYU guys. you
Yeah.
know? And that's not to say that the other guys can't be, but you know, it's just like
You
there's
have
more
to have a
time. You know.
foundation.
And if there is a return on investment for fans or for university, whatever, it is that like
from a
they know these guys and like they feel an affiliation with the team because it's not just this revolving door of random people that are coming for the most money.
I don't follow basketball as much as football, obviously, but is there any like stories similar? Because in football right now, the talk is like Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix, like who did 5 years of college, like and came in as a rookie. They were way more prepared and absolutely balled out. Jaden Daniels just took the freaking Commanders to NFC Championship.
Yeah, it's dope.
You know, Bo Nix took an average Broncos team, and it's like there's a ton of hype, and it's like to stay in college is better for development. Now, basketball's always talked about one and done. Is there any like evidence? I don't know if it's similar to Jaden and Bo Nix, but where it's more beneficial to stay in from a development standpoint to be ready for the NBA, or is it just like a NIL dollars?
I think there are certain guys that have like a level of maturity that like a Dalton Connect.
Yeah.
But does that help as much in basketball, or is it just like freak athleticism and they'll figure it out?
But I feel like the NBA wants 18-year-old.
I was just
guys.
gonna say,
Yeah.
it depends on what the NBA GMs decide what's valuable.
Yeah.
Because Dalton Connect isn't at Utah because they didn't think that was as valuable as an 18-year-old. Like GMs, for whatever reason, and I think it may shift a little bit. Like, to me, you got to get off the 18, 19-year-old a little bit.
I agree.
The AJ Devances, like those guys, yeah, of course. Like he could probably have been an NBA.
Cooper Flag.
Like, Cooper Flag, like at 17 years old. There's the rare guys, but other than that, like you want people that are a little more mature, more proven. And really, if you draft someone, if you get 2-3 years of development, even if they're 23, now they're 25. Like look at Gordon Hayward. He's a great example, right? Gets drafted, takes 3 years to become like really good, but then you still have like a 7-8 year window.
Yeah.
Now he's 26-7. Now he can go all the way till 33 of like elite basketball like he did. Do you really need any more than that?
Right.
That's why I think people think too, like young, it's like, well, as long as you're like starting to get established at age 25, 6, of like you're a really good NBA player, then hit your prime until you're 33. It's all you need them for. You don't need they act like you need them for 15 years.
Right.
That's rare. It's
Yeah.
rare they'll stay with you.
And then it's rare that it'll be good for 15 years
be
anyways.
good. So it's like, to me, it's like I want to get at 25, 26. I want you close to your high level as you can.
Yeah.
So if I think you're at 23 and I think you get there in 2-3 seasons,
It is an interesting perspective because in college, a lot of guys don't want to sign high school players because they're like, I don't want to develop you for a couple years. I'll
Yeah.
get you out of JC or I'll get you in the transfer portal after you've been trained for a couple years.
Yep.
And like I've never really thought about it on an NBA perspective where it's probably the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like this guy gets drafted, he's with an organization for 5-6 years, and then it's
Yeah.
like this 25-year-old kid, we want him, let's sign him, he's a free agent. I wonder if that will ever shift because
Should.
it's like you want those guys 25 to 33. That's when they're at their very, very best outside of the freaks that
I think
dominate early.
I think the answer is it is beneficial like it is in football, but it's optics for the NBA and it's age that they're obsessed with, and so it just makes it hard for
I guess
guys
it's
to be
different
like,
too,
I'm
like-
just going to stay and develop.
Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix are quarterback position, and while there is like quarterback equivalents, like that's way more beneficial.
Yeah.
And think about
There's not
Yes,
as many. There's
that
not as
makes
many
sense.
There's not as many of like those that transfer over at more athletic.
And
positions.
one thing that the NBA has done well recently is using the G League, like
Ignite.
almost.
Did you play Ignite? I told you guys it was coming, bro.
It actually was. It actually was.
Such a great
But since you
development.
brought it up, I did actually. No, but like most first round picks are playing in the G League now, which the NFL doesn't have. So it's like, yeah, you may as well stay in college because that's where you're going to get the reps. Like Cody Williams with the Jazz, they just send him to the G League, get reps.
The NFL is more of a man's game too.
I was going to ask you that.
Your
You think,
development is huge.
like,
Yeah.
basketball is so skilled, then football is more like it's not as skilled, but more like physical strength.
Yep.
So like you at 20 compared to 23, like the outcome is going to be stronger,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So,
and
like-
I feel like you see it a little bit in like NCAA where the teams that make a run are the veteran teams and they can go play some bully ball on an 18-year-old kid who's more skilled, but just a little bit.
Football in college is going to be interesting. The average age might be like 24.
Yeah.
It's BYU.
Why wouldn't it be?
You remember like BYU, we used to get made fun of, like, you're so old. Now even in basketball, I'm like, dude, that dude's like 25.
People are.
I wasn't even that old.
People are
I played
redshirting in
for
high school now.
2 years.
No, that's
They're-
crazy.
Like, it's nuts to see, like, the
I mean,
ages,
like they hold them back in 8th grade.
Like,
Yeah.
us being 23
class.
as seniors was,
I call it red shirt.
people were like, dude, you're old. I'm
Yeah,
like,
there's no chance you're getting drafted because you're old.
Yeah, now it's like, Don't Connect was 24.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
LeBron loves
kids
that.
are smart to stay in as long as they can. They're just going to make as much money as possible. Can you imagine how much money Nate Austin would have made?
$1 billion.
Well, he played the most games at BYU. It's a
Yeah.
fact.
Yeah,
He would have been cleaning up because he's a winner too.
that's true.
He's probably won the most games there too, right?
I don't know that. I know. Maybe.
Who's the winningest
I
basketball
think
player?
Charles was at one point.
Might be
Yeah.
Ty.
I think Nate.
No, you have to have 5 years. It might be Nate. And Nate has like 30 more.
Are you talking
games on
percentage-wise or just most wins?
Just most
Just like a period in the game.
I think it is Nate.
I guess, yeah.
I'm not betting against that.
No. Bet some push-ups. Double down.
Double
All
down,
right,
Charlie Brown.
last question, and we'll let you go. What, we were talking about this a little bit before we hopped on and started recording, but what do you feel like this new age of BYU basketball needs to win? Like to be sustainably like a powerhouse in the Big 12? Like, can we get to that with the resources that we've shown that we have, with the recruiting abilities that we've shown we have, with the homegrown talent that I think we can continue to find, develop, and retain? Like, is it just a combination of those things? Like, how does that happen? How do we put together a team that, runs the Big 12? Is that possible?
Yeah, I would say first you need your Richie Saunders. You have to have a core unit of guys that get BYU, know BYU, and are BYU.
Richie's a killer.
So,
They
there's
called it.
And there's the Tyler Hawes, there's the Jackson Emery. There's these people that bring so much value to BYU. The local kid that can hoop. So we got to clean house with every local kid that's really good and combine that with LDS kids. And then to me, you got to ask yourself, is it better to go get a $3 million new player or go get 3 solidified transfers that know college basketball, like go snag someone from a Virginia or Gonzaga, because we can outbid some of these guys. I mean, who wouldn't come for 1 year?
Right.
For $1 million. And it's not even a year, like you just said earlier. It's like 7 months. Like some of these guys could like show up in July, August, and leave in April at the latest. So it's not even close to a year. It's really like 7 months.
But does that take away from, I think KY is big on right now, like, we're going to find, develop young talent, and then get them to the NBA. So you're saying it has to be a little bit, maybe not less of that, but that has to be aided by the other pieces.
Yeah, instead of getting 3 or 4 of those guys,
Get
I would
one.
just want the one.
Yeah.
Just get the one, get your AJ, then the rest. I
Build
wouldn't
around it.
go get anybody else.
Yeah.
I just build around him. Like last year you got Eeyore. I'm like, sweet, let's go get guys that are solidified. Like a Richie Saunders type player, doesn't have to be him. That guy averages 13. People like averaging 13, 15 in college, like you know how to play basketball.
Yeah.
Like just go find a few of those guys that like you average 14, 12, 16, 17. You can average more, sure, that'd be great. But like guys that just know college basketball.
Yeah.
There's just it's a fill. So I try to get 3 of those guys. I wouldn't try to get too many guys out of high school. I get your one guy, and then I'd fill with your BYU core, and then like legit transfers. Because there's so many. Virginia made a living off recruiting BYU type guys that are Christian kids. Just think differently. Like if you could go grab a couple of those Virginia guys and mold them with the Richies and then an AJ, like to me, it's like that's a run in the Big 12.
You agree?
I completely agree. That's what I've been saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you been saying?
No, we've been saying that.
But what have you been saying?
No.
I know what TJ's been saying. TJ's a point guard. He's
What do
smart.
you say?
He's not-
What do I say? I think you're right.
I say.
No, I agree.
You say.
I agree. Like,
That's what I say.
hopefully, I don't think this would offend BYU fans, but we're close with Pope. You are as well. I know fans were sad or mad that he left, but obviously he is doing well, and he's following much more that side of the model, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like Colin Chandler isn't even playing, and he's a great player, but they basically, I'm assuming, told him like, we're gonna get you ready. Like he needs time, right?
Can this be considered a redshirt year for him?
Probably.
What's
I don't
the
know.
rules
I don't
on
know
that?
if he's getting in at all.
No, I don't know. But I saw he got minutes.
Football, it's 4
He
less
did?
games.
He got minutes last game, which
Yeah.
probably means they're not redshirting him.
Okay.
So-
Well, maybe he's getting. I mean, he is coming off a mission, so it's just a
To
totally
me, if
different
I'm
thing.
Colin Chandler, I'd be like, I'm redshirting. And I would hope the staff of BYU would just redshirt him.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't.
No, for sure.
Because
But
NIL losing a year, dude, you cost me $250, $300.
well, you're not losing a year though if you're redshirting. You still get paid.
Yeah, maybe, but I'm saying like it won't be now. Like you've got 3 years left.
I'd argue the opposite.
Right? No, because
You
now,
get paid, you don't even play, and then now you
Right,
get.
how many years does he have left?
Can't you redshirt 1 and play 4?
Yeah, I think so.
But is
He's
he
got
going to
5 years.
redshirt now?
He's a genius for redshirting.
So in
If he
NCAA
does.
basketball.
No, I'm saying he should redshirt.
Oh, okay.
A player
But now,
cannot
like,
play in a game
it's
and keep
usually
the
your
redshirt
first year.
status.
It's not going to make sense for him
At
to
all?
redshirt.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
there's
no,
a there's
for
a
sure.
minutes restriction.
Yeah, I agree.
Because some guys play early and then they're like, yeah, I think we're gonna shut it down.
But the
I think
Is it
there's
at a point of
certain
the
amount
year?
games,
I
maybe.
don't know. I just looked.
What does it say?
It just
Because
it says-
football is straight like 4 games, right?
Yeah, I don't know if it's. It just says in NCAA basketball, a player cannot play in a game and keep their redshirt status unless they have a medical reason.
So he's not for sure.
yeah, it's tough.
If Alex is telling me.
But NCAA is also talking about giving everyone a 5th year, so that could happen. Anyways,
It's gonna end
which
up
is
just
another
being a
reason
job. We're all going back.
another reason I'll sue them. But
Yeah. So football's 4 games. It just says. it's not-
NCAA
it's
ruined
not
my life.
basketball.
Football.
The point was though, Pope went and got 3, 4, 5 guys out of the portal that averaged that were on winning teams that are 22 to 24 years old, and now they're playing really well. So I have been saying that along with TJ is that it's going to need to be a combination of that, and I'm sure they're thinking the same thing down at Provo. But
Because like as much as like he could develop an NBA guy like an AJ, Igor, they come and go, but that doesn't mean we're gonna win
yeah,
games.
100%.
So
They'll
yeah, it's
just
great
equate
for
wins.
them, but like, do BYU fans want to be?
They want to win.
I think they'd
That's
want.
all we care about.
That's why we didn't.
And
get
I'm not
drafted.
saying-
we just wanted to win.
Yeah, we didn't care. And I'm not saying it will lead to wins, but it will lead to wins if the AJ has like.
Yeah.
So if Igor and Richie, like he'll have a foundation next year. If Igor stays and you get some of the core guys, like they could be really good.
Yeah, he's
But
a-
if that foundation is whole and he doesn't have like the steadiness, it'll be
Yeah.
harder for him. There's more pressure on him to.
For sure.
But he's obviously a freak, so I don't know. His highlights are wild. I do that on like an 8-foot hoop in the basement.
That's what Alex does.
Alex still does it.
He's good at 8. Is it 8 or is it 7? I think it's 7.
Whatever, bro.
All right, well, thanks for hopping on the show. Do we have any other questions? You have any questions for us before we head out?
Let's flip this thing.
I think you know everything about us, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You want me to tell people what I know?
Yeah. Let's get into it.
No, it's not. Thanks everyone for tuning in. You can watch or listen on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Kyle, thank you for being here. We also want to give a special shout out to Capita Financial for letting us use their awesome space. They've been great, and we love being here, so thank you.